Currently, in pretty much every single online political sphere, there has been an uproar about freedom of speech regarding both government institutions and also private entities, mainly online platforms. Because most of the suppression has been directed towards the right, much of the left has been openly supportive of these crackdowns, such as the trial against Count Dankula for anti-Semitism, the banning of Alex Jones from basically the entire internet, and the recent deplatforming of Sargon of Akkad from Patreon. While it is our enemies being suppressed by the present establishment, the leftist complacency and, in the worst cases, open support of these crackdowns is without a doubt suicidal. Now, it needs to be said that neither Sargon of Akkad nor the rest of the skeptics actually represent any serious dissent towards the present establishment, as much as they want to believe that they are radicals who have stricken fear towards the social justice progressive establishment, which is not only a complete simplification of the ruling bourgeois ideology, but an anti-materialist abstraction. Their deplatforming is only due to their own recklessness. They simply posture themselves as a youthful and virile rebellion with exaggerated, edgy memes and language. Without that, they are simply milquetoast liberal centrists, hardly any different from those they spend their time attacking. The idea of free speech is also a complete myth. Of all the liberal institutions, it is the least concrete in capitalist society. The reality is that no matter how liberal and democratic a state is, it will crush the speech of its opposition if it finds it has to. However, free speech is a useful myth to all radicals and reactionaries. A liberal democratic state that is scarce of the tools to suppress its opposition is far easier to exploit, subvert, and overthrow. The only issue is how one fringe element will compete with the other. It is no secret that fascists and reactionaries will propagandize free speech to assert itself and gain more power and support. Oswald Mosley used the myth of free speech to justify the mobilization of his black shirts on the Frost program in 1967.
Now you see why we had to. Now you see how we had to fight for free speech. When you show pictures of me in uniform, it was because men like you came by the score to our meetings, enormous meetings like that in Exhibition Hall, London, 30,000 people coming to listen to us, which was in perfect order because we'd stopped people like you breaking up the meetings. And I did that with the Black Shirt movement, and I'm proud to have organized and led the Black Shirt movement to restore free speech to Britain.
Now, to any who are more politically inclined, you would know that the intention of the black shirts was not to protect freedom of speech. But we on the left should not let morality stop us from mobilizing our own street presence, although one with more testosterone and ideological focus than your average Antifa Rainbow Fest. Now, to the leftoids under the delusion that the current suppression of right-wing content creators is a positive development, your strategy to defeat the right wing is akin to a suicide bombing with a suitcase nuke. If Patreon will deplatform a Cheeto-pounding, coke-snorting Englishman for saying "N-word" on a live stream once, but not someone who advocates a communist revolution to overthrow the government and hang the bourgeoisie, you are a fucking moron. If you think the UK state will take an obese Scottish man to court for anti-Semitism charges because he made his pug move his paw upwards, but not a anti-Zionist leftist group under the exact same law, then you are a complete retard.
If they're not banned soon, their close links to far-left groups in the UK could have deadly consequences for British Jews. We need to all work together to get this group banned.
We shouldn't delude ourselves with the morality of free speech. The question of freedom of speech is for whom to say what. Obviously, for any revolution to succeed, the revolutionaries must reserve the right to purge the counter-revolutionaries. However, for strategic and tactical reasons, the position of any leftist right now should be that of free speech absolutism.
back to?
This will to live, simply nothing more to give. Getting lost in passing sound. I was me, but now I'm gone.
I was gonna ask why his name's Black Cock Eater 9000, but I think I figured out why.